Hello and welcome to the Legends of Tabletop podcast. We are getting ready to play the Lonely Point Lighthouse classic Call of Cthulhu scenario. But a recap from last session, which is a scenario entitled "A Sickly Sweet Scent," inappropriately labeled on the YouTube, which I'm gonna have to go back and change. But I guess that's neither here nor there.
That was my bad. I switched it up the last minute because I was too lazy to finish the adventure I was supposed to run.
So we had Nick with us last time. Nick is playing Thomas Weld. We had gotten a call from Dale Trevor. He wanted us to go check on a friend of his who was an explorer. He hadn't heard from him for a while. He was up in Long Island. So we went out there to go check it out. He was a botanist who spent some time in the Amazon, I believe. Some jungle somewhere. So we got up there. We started, snowstorm started. So as we got in, it was getting pretty heavy, which is fine. We figured we'd, hang out there for a bit. Ran over some wood with some nails in it. So we were kind of stuck. Went up to the house. No one was around. The door was open. The snow was blowing in. We heard some people knocking around. And a monstrous creature came out and attacked us, and things went south really fast, which wasn't what anybody expected. So we fought a giant vine monster creature, which was death something. It's in the notes here. This is why you guys pay the big bucks to listen to us recap these shows. Anyway, we ran around the grounds for a while. The vine creature crushed the car. We wound up killing the grounds person who was infected, ensorcelled, some may say, by this creature. We wound up out in the greenhouse behind the building because it was too cold to be outside and we couldn't go in the house. What we discovered there was a person, I'm using air quotes, a druid or druidess, I suppose.
A dryad.
Dryad, that was Dryad, yeah. Who was presumably brought back from the Amazon or wherever far-flung parts this dude was at. She had it, her and Thomas, like two peas in a pod. Like they were together on a level that was, it was crazy. Anyway, we wind up killing her plant where her spirit resided, and I believe we burned the house down. It was a real shit show, but we made it out, and so like things are cool, I guess. And now we're gonna, investigate a lighthouse where I'm sure there's nothing at all strange or unsettling.
We're
I'm going to kick it over to Oscar. Oscar has a special announcement for tonight.
Okay, this adventure is part of our very, very first book, Island of Ignorance. It's remained very popular for many years, but unfortunately it's been out of print for a number of years. Harry, if you could share that, please.
I will do so. Yep, I'm distracted.
So yes, it has been out of print for many years because it is a 6th edition title. Golden Goblin Press is older than 7th edition. Not by much, but we are older. So our very first book was 6th edition. I think our first and second might have been 6th edition. And then after that, we everything was 7th. So I've not wanted to reprint it because it's the wrong edition. But it's still, people still want to order it. We get store orders who want to restock it, and we're not doing that because, we've always hoped to reprint it. And to reprint it, I've wanted to do an update, which brings us to drum roll, please. Okay.
Getting tired.
Island of Ignorance, the
Yeah.
Third Cthulhu Invictus Companion, the Third Cthulhu Companion, second edition. Our
Woo.
plan is to launch a Kickstarter, hopefully next month. It may have to wait until August. We will see. Where we are going to be raising the funds needed to, one, pay for this beautiful cover design.
Mhm.
Our plan is to update the book for 7th edition, do it as a full color interior, have the black and white art colorized, have the pre-generated investigators in the back of the book have all new art, commissioned from Ruben, produced for that. And as a bonus thank you, we are going to be including it to backers at a certain level all of the special exclusive Kickstarter bonus scenarios that we've done, which would be Hourglass, Mystery of April Snow, Goblin on Bourbon Street. I think there might be one or two more. Anyway, it'll be a PDF package of backer exclusives from our catalog. A lot of those are available now, but you'll be getting them free with, with backing the project. And
There's more.
if,
But wait.
there's more. So if it funds well, and if we can unlock some stretch goals, then we will be doing. Let me see. We will be unlocking a. Bear with me as I'm shifting files around. We will be unlocking a new project, which will be called Dark Seas of Infinity, which would be the 4th Cthulhu Companion. Here is a mock-up of the cover art, which is basically the same girl from the first cover, except 20 minutes later.
Yeah.
Ruben's done the sketch. He is very excited to colorize this. I told him don't until we unlock the stretch goals. So I don't want you to work on something we're not going to be able to pay you for. And happily enough, we have two very well known, I believe, and anyway, very well known Cthulhu authors who have returned to this project. We have Jeff Muller doing a scenario set in Arkham called "If It Sounds Like a Duck." It's basically centering on a alternative medicine conference being hosted at Miskatonic University. For those of you who enjoy the weird science aspect of cosmic horror, this is going to be a treat. And we have also returning John Hook, who will be doing a scenario. I forget what it's being called. It's set in Kingsport, and it centers around a boarding house with some unusual events happening to be investigated. And I will be, in my offering, because of course I'm going to be part of it, is going to be something I believe that we've run on this channel, which would be Spirits, Demons, and Tarantula Juice, which is set in Arkham and Dunwich. So we're also planning several articles, and we have stretch goals to enlarge the book. And we're hoping to do 6 new pre-generated investigators to bring the roster of the official GGP investigator corps to 21, from 18 to 24.
Nice.
So that's what we're planning. We are running Lonely Point Lighthouse to remind the fans how cool this book is. If you don't own it, now you'll have a chance to own it in 7th edition. If you do own it, now you'll have a chance to own the new hotness and get some bonus items. And if enough people support it, we'll be doing the 4th Cthulhu Companion, Dark Seas of Infinity. And that's our announcement. Kickstarter hopefully launching within the next 6 weeks.
Nice. That's super cool.
That is awesome.
More books
Okay.
for the collection.
Any
Yeah.
any questions from you guys or the audience?
Nothing from the audience. This piece of art is fantastic. I mean,
Yeah.
the one in the
Oh,
library is cool. This one is fucking
Well,
awesome.
he's got 11 more years of experience from the first cover.
Right.
So yes, I think it is as an outstanding cover. I, for one, really hope we fund it and we can see it in its full color glory. Definitely art prints would be a stretch goal for it.
Mhm.
Right.
But we'll see how it goes.
So I guess we should say the art is focusing on a woman coming down a grand staircase, holding a probably bloodied bat with tentacles coming up the steps, sort of surrounding her feet and out
Right.
like over the banisters, and
And-
a giant eye in a stone wall that's just looking down behind her. It's really cool.
Right. And it's the same woman from the cover of Island of Ignorance.
Yeah.
So we're trying to keep the theme. Who knows if we do a fifth Cthulhu companion, it may be her dead body. We don't know. But
Be the full investigator arc.
yes, it'll be her in a straitjacket against the wall of a padded room.
Right.
With eyes all in the wall looking down at her from every angle.
Or somebody gave her a crayon and she covered it with crosses, like in the Mouth of Madness. All right, well, that's my big announcement. It's something we've been working on. And for those who are going to get angry at me, no, none of the people who are involved in the legacy of Arius Lurko are involved in this project. So we're not slowing down production on one book for another. Lisa is hard at work. We are pulling together the intro. The entire legacy of Arius Lurko is in proofreading now. People are getting their reports back, so we are definitely pulling into the station on that project to pull the manuscript together and hopefully send it to layout before the end of summer, if possible. And that's where we are. All right, if we have no other questions, I think we can segue into the actual play.
Sounds good. I'm gonna throw up. I think we had intended to play the tarantula juice scenario, but I can't find it anywhere in the playlist.
But you've played it. I know you've played it. Or did you?
I don't know. I know we talked about it because I know the name of it. I don't know that we've actually played it.
Oh. That's
But maybe you
strange.
were gonna run it, and
Well, I know I've run it.
Yeah. I don't know.
I've
if
run
you
it at a
for us,
con,
though.
and I've run it as a play test for my home group.
Yeah.
Maybe you haven't. All right, something to look forward to if we fund it.
There we go.
Promote all the things.
All
That's a
the
spoiler every episode. Spoilers if you're.
I would have bet anything we played it, but then again, everything blends together at our age.
Yeah. I know we talked about it.
Okay. All right. So after your escapades on the Gold Coast of Long Island,
Harrowing ordeal.
what's funny is how that one you said that was February.
Yep.
This scenario is actually set in March. I'm like looking
Nice.
over the notes, and it's set March 11th. Well, it'll start on March on the 10th or 11th of March. Okay, so you get a call from into your agency that they'd like to hire you and your associates to look into rumors of a possible haunting at a lighthouse guarding the harbor of New London, Connecticut. The lighthouse is set on an island called Lonely Point. The lighthouse, of course, is called the Lonely Point Lighthouse. They have had for many, many years, they had a family living there. A couple raised 2 children uneventfully until until 1920, when the father, the lighthouse keeper, died. He had 2 adult children who had since left home, and he had a wife, but it was believed that she had been sick for a long time and had been buried somewhere on the property, as the couple had become reclusive. Now, the problem is that since then, they've not been able to, the Chamber of Commerce has not been able to keep a lighthouse keeper employed. There have been 3 lighthouse keepers since Morris Fitch's death. An Alan Metcalf, who was employed from April of 21 to March of 22. Ray Chapin, who was employed from August to November of 1922. And Chester Wade, who was employed between February and December of 1924. All of them quit, and they all reported hearing strange noises, scratches, tapping, moaning, which seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere. And, they could never find the source, but it was just very unnerving. So they both quit after a short time. This is all information you begin play with. So,
Okay.
this is all conveyed. This is all conveyed to you. Like someone from New London comes to the New York office with like a folder and a retainer.
Mm-hmm.
They tell you that Morris Fitch was married to Bessie, and they raised 2 children, Gary and Michelle. There was never any mention of hauntings or strange noises during that time.
Okay.
And what's most notable is that their son, Gary, who is now deceased, was posthumously awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor for his military service in France. And a statue of him has been erected outside of the Buckley High School, which he attended in New London, Connecticut. Hold on, there's one last bit of thing. Oh, and starting in 1924, shortly after the last lighthouse keeper fled, people started spotting a strange creature swimming around Lonely Point. Most sightings are fleeting, and no clear photograph has been taken of the supposed sea monster. But several of the local businesses are trying to play it up, calling it the sea monster of Moray Drop in an effort to attract tourists. And the Chamber of Commerce is not happy. They do not want New London to be known as the home of the sea monster of Moray Drop, and nor do they want the town to be known to have a haunted lighthouse, because they want to get a new lighthouse keeper in there and renovate it because it's fallen into disrepair. And the reason they are so eager to have these repairs made is since the lighthouse has been unmanned for quite some time, it is not serving its purpose to warn ships away. And a yacht has recently sank after hitting a reef on a dark stormy night. And the owner was never found, I believe.
Womp womp.
So yes, there we are. They are willing to pay everyone $5 a day plus expenses. They are willing to put you up in the Waterford Hotel in New London, and from there you will be taken out by boat to Lonely Point. You will be given enough supplies for 3 days, and at the end of that time, you will be picked up.
So $15 total. All right.
Plus expenses. Not too shabby for 1920
Yeah.
ish.
Or
What was the
remember,
name of the?
it's 15 to 1.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
$5 is a lot of money.
What was the first guy's name? Was Alan? What was the last name?
Metcalf.
And
Metcalf.
the
Ray
second
Chapman.
person? Ray Chapman.
And Chester Wade was the third.
Okay. And Ray Chapman was there from from February to just like 2 months or something.
August to November, Ray
Oh,
Chapman.
okay. August to November. So yeah, Harry, like, you know, he kind of tosses the folder on the table and he says, that's all I know. I appreciate you coming. You know, after last time, Doc, I wasn't sure you'd want to return any of my phone calls. It was a little bit dicey.
It was quite the experience, but you know, I'm up for another investigation.
But you should make sure you bring your medical kit. You know,
Yeah.
after last time, and I don't want to take any chances.
Hey, Ari, I think that Doc here might have the bug. Like, not like being sick or nothing, but like actually like wanting to get in on the action now.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, I could turn this all over to you because, like, this is all sort of falling in our lap. Like, you know, I used to, like, you know, follow guys cheating on their wives. You know, maybe this person's extorting some money from their business. Now, you know, I find that we go to the dream world. We, you know, these snake women and bugs from the future. Like, it's been a pretty strange experience here the last, you know, last couple of years. It's, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah, but sitting outside some guy's window waiting for him to cheat on his wife doesn't pay $5 a day now, does it?
Well, you got me there. That's for sure. Sometimes it even gets me beat up. Depends on whether or not they catch me.
That's why Doc's here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In fact, that's how we met.
Okay, so they are willing to put you up at the local hotel, the Waterford, and they say you'll check in on Thursday and we'll ferry you out on Friday. Currently, it is Tuesday. So if you wanted to leave a day early, you could arrive, on Wednesday and have 2 additional days in New London before you get ferried out. But you'd have to pay for your own lodging.
Well, to me,
Like-
that sounds like incidentals.
Well, no, they tell you that we're covering your expenses from Thursday night.
Mhm.
I mean, it might be nice to do some sightseeing.
Or maybe gathering information, beforehand.
Does the file of information tell us where any of these former lighthouse keepers live? Do they all live in New London, or?
Hold on. Let me check.
Because that might matter then if we want to talk to any of these people, which I assume we would.
Right, 1 second.
A little notebook in hand. Do you? I mean, meta. Nick, do you have like psychology or anything like that?
Okay.
Psychoanalysis.
How
or
do
anything
you
like
want? You have their names. How do
Okay.
you want to try and find them?
Is there shit? I don't know. 1920. Is there like a registry of like lighthouse keepers? Like that's
You
a
were
fairly
told that You were told that none of them were lighthouse keepers. They were both trying it out for the first time.
Okay.
Like they
They would-
received some training and then they were.
I mean, you're an investigator. Like the whole point is like go around and ask people, right? Go to a bar.
Yeah, but if we don't know where they're from, right, like that makes it more difficult. Like we
Sure.
could go to New London and ask around and see if they were local, right? But like if one guy's in New York, as
Well,
unlikely as
yeah.
that may be, right? Like
When were the yellow pages published?
I will allow you to find each of them with a successful library use roll. I'm just going to be just making phone calls, checking the yellow pages, looking for directories. So if you wanted to, try and track them down while you're in New London, you could probably get a line on them. You know, maybe they've left a forwarding address at the chamber, with their former employers, the local government, but it's not something that you could do here.
right, okay. Yeah. Send the last check as they're running
Yeah,
at the door. All right. Yeah, so maybe we go up like Georgie said, we'll go up a day early. We could nose around, put out some feelers to see maybe some of these local shops, they got art, some kind of picture, something that they're trying to show this monster. We get a look at maybe what it looks like or what they say that it looks like.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Is there
Okay, so
anything you need to
Sufficient?
wrap up here before heading out?
you guys tell me.
Yeah,
No, I'm asking
I got
these
nothing
guys.
going on.
Okay, so do you guys want to drive to
You're
Connecticut?
paying my tab, Harry. I got whatever you got.
That's fair. That's fair. Doc, you wanna drive? My car got smashed up before. It's still I haven't had a chance to get that fixed up.
Yeah, sure. We can take my car.
Nice. All right.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
grab a couple
we can
things. And let's
say
go.
that you have a leisurely road trip for several hours, heading up the coast. You leave New York, you cross the bridge, across the state line into Connecticut, hugging the coast, and you come to New London after about, I'd say, on 1920s roads, probably a 4-hour ride.
At least, right?
Yeah. It's a long ride from New York to New London now. So back then, it's probably way more.
Now it's traffic, though.
Yeah, now it's traffic. Back then, it was just bad roads. Well, I'm sure they were fine for the time, but yeah. Okay, so let me give you and the people at home a little bit of information. This city was settled in 1648 and has a excellent deep water harbor lying midway between New York and Boston. New London was a major naval base during the American Revolution and was nearly burnt to the ground during the Battle of Groton Heights. In the 19th century, New London became the second busiest whaling port in the world, and much of its architecture reflects the wealth of that period. Over the years, much of what was New London became other towns, such as Groton in 1705, Montville in 1786, and Waterford in 1801. According to the 19th census, New London proper has a population of about 26,000 people. So there you go. That's New London. So I can hold on a second. There's something I can share. Bear with me a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's riveting. Suspense is building.
Sorry, I'm pulling up a map.
Is there? I assume there is some sort of like on land office for the lighthouse. Like, do they have like administrative offices or something like that?
Yes, the local government offices and Chamber of Commerce. You can find the records for that.
Gotcha.
And okay, I'm going to share this.
There we go.
And this is New London.
Okay.
So this is the Waterford Hotel. And there are other people. There are other places here. I can email this to you if that'd be easier.
Yeah, if you want to reply to the invite email, that way we each have it.
Sure thing. Smart idea. And I will give you this one as well. It's uploading. Okay. All right, so I've given you the map of New London and the coast of New London. So
Nice.
2 maps to help you plan out.
Cool.
We're going to say that these maps were in the folder you were given.
That makes sense.
Okay, so you are there. You can drop your bags at the Waterford and start trying to solve this mystery.
And Buckley High School is where that statue was at.
Yes.
Okay. There's the fort. City clerk's office. Okay, I'm just looking through the maps real quick to see what stands out as a point of interest.
Oh, and the office of the day. The day is their local paper.
Okay. So what do you think, guys? Maybe we hit the Chamber of Commerce, see what they have on record more than what we got here.
That, or look through the yellow pages like Georgie recommended to try to find the address of the former lighthouse keepers.
Yeah, we even check the Chamber of Commerce, right? They might have records on stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody's got to be keeping track of who's out on the lighthouse.
All right. So where do you want to go for this?
Let's go to the clerk's office first.
Okay.
Or at least Harry would. If you guys want to follow, or if you want to spread out, I guess.
So are you splitting up? Or are you staying together?
I don't know. I think it kind of might make sense to split up. I mean, we're in town. It's not like there's any danger, really. So we can cover more ground if we split up.
No danger.
Whoa.
You guys tell me.
Yeah, let's split up, cover more ground.
Okay,
Yeah.
Who's going to go do what?
I'm gonna go to the clerk.
Okay.
I'll head. I'm assuming there's like docks. I think I'm seeing docks and stuff all around the coast right there.
Yep.
I used to and still pick up part-time work down at the docks back home. So I'll head down there and talk shop to the guys and maybe see if I can catch wind of some rumors or anything going on. Maybe some of these guys have seen the monster in the water.
Okay. And Thomas?
I think I'll go to the New London Historical Society just to see what type of history about ghosts there are in the area, and especially if there are any in the lighthouse.
Okay. All right, so we're going to start with Harry at the clerk's office. So they have public records, property deeds, vital statistics, and general documents of the area. So you go in, there's a guy who looks like he's maybe 35 behind the counter. You know, then I'll be with you in a second. And
Yeah, sure. No, take
kind
your
of
time.
comes back and closes up a book he was reading and says, "Good morning, sir. How can I help you?"
Yeah, I'm new in town. My name is Harry Stanton. I'm a private investigator. I'm looking into the lighthouse, the Lonely Point Lighthouse. There, trying to get some information on some of the previous keepers there. I got he pulls out his old notebook, flips a couple of pages. Let's see, Alan Metcalf. But I got Ray Chapman and Chester Wade. I was wondering if you might have any information on these guys, maybe addresses, work papers, anything like that.
And he sees the folder. He goes, "Oh, you're the ones they fired."
Yeah. I got two other guys with me.
Yeah, we were told to expect you. Let me see if I can dig that all up for you.
Oh, that'd be great.
Okay, so he just let me find that.
He leans on the counter, pulls out a pack of cigarettes, lights up smoke. It's kind of like looking around the office.
Bear with me.
You need a hand with that? You want me to direct me in a
He says,
direction?
no, it's fine. I wrote this just many years ago, so I don't remember where everything is.
That's a weird way to put it, but okay, I'll just
All right, so okay. All right, so he digs up the thing and he says, "Okay, Ray Chapman is, I know a couple of his friends. He's still in New London. He's now working as a postman."
no kidding.
And he says, Alan Metcalf, he's over in Groton now. I can give you that. I can give you these addresses. And
yeah,
Chester Wade, I heard that he's he kind of became a lighthouse keeper for Solitude. He's a sculptor. And now he's living in a artist commune in Kingsport.
Huh. All right. That's probably a little bit farther than I want to travel this weekend. We're supposed to hit the lighthouse on Friday. So, at Groatman, how far is that from here?
Oh, that's about 4 miles.
Oh,
I can draw you a map.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Might want to take a ride out there.
He draws you a quick map out to Groton, and gives you the address for both Metcalf and Chapman.
Okay. So what's your take on this? These guys, you think they just got a little spooked out there? You ever seen this monster people are talking about?
I haven't seen it, but a lot of people claim to have. I don't know if I believe them either. I think it's more wishful thinking. Nothing really happens in a place like this.
Pretty quiet.
So,
huh?
Right. I mean, we've been a port for forever. So if there was ever a sea monster roaming around, I think we would have had a long history of it. I've got friends in the historical society, and we chatted over dinner, and they don't have any records of ever having a sea monster off the coast here.
Yeah, I mean, it's just in this enlightened age, who would think that there'd still be undiscovered things in the ocean?
It's most likely, it's probably, a young whale separated from its pod, maybe a bull shark, um, possibly a big seal. Who knows? I believe people are seeing something. I don't believe it's a sea monster.
Do you get seals through here this time of year? There's some kind of like migrations or anything? Yeah, I'm from
Yeah.
down in New York, if you couldn't tell. So,
Oh, you get seals all up and down the coast.
yeah.
That's why the sharks are here.
Right, yeah, you don't want to be in the water.
It's not this time of year. It's March.
I hear they run all the way up to Cape Cod.
Yeah, they do.
All right, well, yeah, I appreciate your time. Hopefully, we'll be able to get this sorted out and get everything all back in working order. I heard there was a yacht or something went down. There's, I guess, a couple of reefs out there.
Yeah, there was another ship that ran aground on the island during some storm at night. That boat was badly damaged, but didn't sink. After the second boat sank, there was a outcry to get a new lighthouse keeper installed, but the place needs repairs, so I don't think they want to invest in the repairs until they have a lighthouse keeper hired on a contract, and that's not going to happen with all of these crazy rumors about hauntings.
Did you ever talk to Ray or Alan, any of these guys? Did they say anything in particular? Scratch your fancy.
Not really. I mean, I've spoken to Ray. He's still in New London. He was a local man. But the other two, no, I didn't really have much to do with them. Ray, he's up. Uh, do I believe ghost stories? No. Do I think an old lighthouse during a storm, you know, leaky roofs and shutters banging in the wind, and you're out there all by yourself. I mean, neither one of them have a family. So they were just bachelors on this island for weeks and weeks on end, just getting, weekly supplies of you know, goods ferried out to them. So I think that
They're
probably,
crazy.
yeah, the mind starts to play tricks on you.
Yeah, I'm sure that's probably it.
It's definitely the kind of job you'd need a family. The Fitch family, they were there for decades and had none of these nonsense stories.
And she died on the island. She was buried on the island. I think that's what it said.
Um, Hold on.
I mean, I know that's what it said because you told me.
Yeah, Bessie. Yeah, they never found her body when they found Morris's. So they thought that he'd been her caretaker for a long time. They'd stopped coming to church and coming into town for a few years before he died. Quite a few. So he was just out there with his wife. The two children had moved on. Their son, died heroically. He's kind of our local hero. And their daughter moved away. I don't know where. I think to Ohio.
They found the old guy's body. What happened to him?
They found him at the bottom of the stairs with a broken neck. He'd been there a couple of days, from what I heard. You'll get a chance to speak to the gentleman who found him. He's the one who's going to ferry you out on Friday.
Oh, yeah. They good people. They never had no trouble with nobody.
The Fitches? No.
Yeah,
they were solid. I mean, they lived on Lonely Point. We usually only saw them during the week, during the weekends when they came into church all together. But the kids would be ferried out to attend school. So, I mean, I knew Gary a little bit, not much. I wouldn't say we were friends, but we attended school together.
So they were local here then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. I appreciate it. I appreciate all your help. Thanks so much.
Anytime. Let me know how I can help.
All right. You've done plenty. You got us off on the right foot.
Well, best of luck out there.
All right.
And
Thanks.
don't get in your head. It's probably nothing.
Harry looks at the camera, says, "Yeah, I'm sure it's nothing." Tips his hat, crushes out the butt. I'm sure there's an ashtray on the counter.
Right.
And
Okay, so
heads back out.
we'll go to Georgie. So you're down at the docks, Georgie, and
Yeah.
there are dock workers, there are people repairing ships, there are fishermen bringing in their catch. There's local shops and restaurants and bars, and so it's a thriving port in a once mighty whaling port, but now it's more
Nice,
just commerce. There's still
Yeah.
a naval station nearby, so you do see sailors every once in a while. Fun trivia:
Alright.
New London, Connecticut today is a major submarine base.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I end up driving by it every time I go up to Necronomicon.
Nice.
Never stopped. Always wanted to.
Well, now you should.
I really should.
Walk around and just say, I wrote an adventure about you guys.
I actually contacted the local Chamber of Commerce for a lot of the information here, and they were thrilled to have somebody call and actually.
That is awesome.
So I called the Chamber of Commerce and the Historical Society, and they are both super, super helpful. I learned so much about.
Cool.
I now know more about New London, Connecticut than any person not from New London, Connecticut.
Hey, maybe even more than some of the people that live there.
Yeah.
Probably.
I was about to say, yep.
Okay, so you're down by the docks, and you just want to talk to people.
Yeah, I'm just kind of hearing the hearsay and any kind of rumors or sputter about. So
okay, and we come to the conversations with locals section.
Yeah.
Okay.
Subtly try to bring up sea monsters and lighthouses.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay. So give me.
I forgot we're playing a game. I should get my dice out.
Yeah. Give me a charm or a luck check.
Well, let's see. My charm is 15. So maybe I'm going to go with luck, which also is pretty dang low right now. Burned a lot of that in the last
Did you roll
couple
to get luck
adventures.
back? Did you recover any luck last time?
Yeah, a little bit. Not enough.
Not enough. Gotcha.
I burned a lot of luck.
Last one was rough.
Yeah. That being said, I got 12 under 33. So
Okay.
that would have even made the charm check.
It's a hard success if you're doing luck.
No, yeah.
Okay. So let me see who you end up talking to. All right. You end up striking up a conversation with 3 guys who were mending a net.
Mm.
And they don't look like they're fishermen. They look like they are local fishermen. They're not fishing today. They're repairing a large scale net. So they've got it. They're there. They've got to get their pipes out. You come by, you strike up a conversation with them. Their names.
I ask them if they use that net to catch sea monsters.
And he says, "You're not from here, are you?" And they start laughing. And he says, "Look, we've been in these waters. We've been swimming these, fishing these waters for decades. We've never seen a sea monster."
And I know
then,
what it's like. You get these young
One of them
kids out
goes-
here, they see a little ripple in the water.
Make a insight check
All
or
right.
psychology. Psychology, yeah. It's hard to switch between Rome and the 20 sometimes.
Right. Well, this is going to be pretty much impossible. Let's find out. Not even close.
Okay. All right. So basically, they tell you that one of them says, I don't know if it's a sea monster, but something has definitely been off around about the local waters in the last few years. The fishing and crabbing have been absolutely awful. It ain't like it used to be. Back in the day, yada yada yada. You can support your whole family on just a couple of days of fishing. Now we're not pulling in what we used to. We don't know if it's commercial shipping or if there's something going on. And one of the guys said, "Hey, maybe the sea monster is driving away all the local fish and crabs." And they chuckle.
Georgie chuckles, but fake chuckles, because he's like, yeah, that's actually a legit possibility.
Okay. They basically say that, bull shark, the only thing that's still common around here is bull sharks. And unfortunately, nobody eats them.
Right.
Or at least we don't eat them. They tell you that the waters around Lonely Point are very tricky, and there's a dangerous shoal there, which is why several ships have been damaged and why they want the lighthouse back up and running.
That makes sense.
Worse still, near the shoal is an ocean trench called Moray Drop. So that's like the 1-2 punch for misfortune. If you're having a really bad day, you'll rip the bottom out of your boat and then coast over Moray Drop.
Ooh.
Yeah, there are more than one ship lost over the years, but not really since whaling times.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. So back where I'm from, back up in New York, they had we kind of had an issue a little bit with the sewage. You know how they kind of just like dump all the shit out into the rivers. That was we saw a lot of the fish kind of disappear after that. Maybe you guys are having the same problem. Maybe you should.
They say if anything, they're dumping less.
Literally.
They're dumping less into the bay now than they did back when we were kids. And when we were kids, the fishing was better. So
maybe you should start dumping more shit in the water. I don't know, guys.
Maybe it was laugh.
And then Georgie like fakes like undoing his pants like he's gonna take poop in the water.
They just start laughing and go back to they said, well, so what brings you to New London?
No, I mean we're doing a little sightseeing before we kind of heard about the whole area, heard about the lighthouse, decided to do a little bit of a tour, muck it up a little bit.
Oh, so you're the ones they hired to go take a look?
Yeah, basically. Man, word spreads fast around here, don't it?
Well, this isn't New York. There've been it was talked about at a town meeting. There were a lot of locals very upset about the accidents, and there have been a lot of outcry to get the lighthouse back up and running.
Understandable. I mean, I'm assuming one rich guy loses a yacht, that's when everything kind of starts going to hell in a handbasket, huh?
Of course, somebody, a working man could lose his boat. Nobody'd give a hoot, but somebody with a bit of folding cash, it's all hands on deck.
Right. I mean, how many fishing boats are down at the bottom of that river right now?
Probably a lot over the years.
Yeah.
Probably a lot.
Well, who knows? Maybe one of them bull sharks got to the guy before he hit the bottom.
I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. And they it's nothing to laugh about. They
Yeah.
can be dangerous.
Georgie looks at the camera knowingly as he's probably thrown a couple of guys in the river.
Is there anything else you want to talk to them about or ask them about?
No, we kind of just like yuck it up for a little bit more, and then I'll have a smoke and then head on out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Thomas. Where were you heading again?
The historical society to check out the history of like ghosts in the area, and especially the lighthouse.
Okay, give me a libraries check.
I rolled a 98.
Oh, no. What's a library?
I'm going to the library.
Okay, you go to the library, you roll a dice. All right. Do you want to push that? I mean, what was your library score?
50. Yeah, I'll push it. Why not? What's the worst that could happen, right? I get kicked out?
Yeah.
Burn the library down.
99?
97. It was close
Oh,
enough.
God. All right. So you are banned from the library.
I'm a doctor. How dare you kick me out? I have a medical degree.
All right, so that's you're the worst. Your dice hate you.
Yeah, they do. I even switched the 10s to do that. I guess I shouldn't have done that.
Okay, so you'll have to find somewhere else to do research.
Okay.
You were at the Historical Society. Where did you want to go next?
Let's see. How about the New London Public Library? Let's try
Okay.
library use again.
All right, let's try that.
08 that time. All right, that's cool.
Nice.
Okay,
Nice.
so and you're specifically looking at the history of Lonely Point, and with a focus on anything supernatural or ghost related. Okay, so general information. Lonely Point was uninhabited until the lighthouse was built there in 1886. The local Pequot Indians never lived on Lonely Point. But there are no legends about the island among their people. So there's no history of hauntings or monsters. Like the Indians just never lived there. It's not that large of an island, to be honest. But looking for information on ghosts, you find a article from the day, say dated March 17th, 1922, and it's entitled Lighthouse Keeper Driven Off by Ghost. And it's about Alan Metcalf quitting his position at Lonely Point. You get a second article, Haunted Lighthouse Claims Second Keeper, November 12th, 1922, and it details Roy Chapman quitting. And another keeper flees in terror from Haunted Lighthouse.
Okay.
December 24 for Chester Wade's resignation.
So pretty much stuff that we knew already. Okay. While I'm at the library, I can't ask that because we're not together yet. While I'm at the library, I guess I'll see if I can look up the addresses of those people.
Does it have the addresses maybe in the articles? Or no, I guess
We'll say that you can find that information in those articles.
Cool.
Is there anything else you want to look at while you're here?
I'm trying to think. Ghosts. That. What do you guys think? Is there anything else I should look at?
I mean, is there any specific history about the island? Early surveying? settler stuff, or if it was just no one lived here until the lighthouse. If
Yeah,
that's the
pretty much.
entirety of it,
It's
then
it's a little dot of an island.
Yeah.
You could probably walk the entire coastline of it in a couple of hours.
yeah.
Wow.
It's not that big of a place.
Notable wrecks. Like I don't know if that provides any information, but it
Mm.
might be something like 100 ships went down. In
No.
the shoals here or whatever.
You guys are looking for like the big, horrifying thing,
Yeah.
and there's no history of that.
Okay.
Yeah. But it makes sense though, right?
There's-
Like to look for that kind
Right.
of stuff. I think.
It's like you're looking for a smoking gun, and there's not even any smoke. It's like the historical record has nothing about hauntings, nothing. It seems all the strange stuff started in about 6 years ago, when the first lighthouse keeper left. That was the first
Weird.
strange thing to happen. The family before it had lived there for from the 1880s to the 19, so they'd lived there like 25 years.
Anything about the family?
Make a library. Which one?
The one who had previously
Bitches.
lived there immediately before it became a lighthouse. Let's try that.
Well, there was nobody lived there before it became a lighthouse. They
Then-
they built the lighthouse, and that's when people started living there.
Okay.
The Fitches, yeah.
Okay, so hold on.
Did you pass, Nick?
Yeah, I made a 26.
Nice.
Okay, so
We spend a point to make that hard.
I don't know if doing that would.
I don't know.
okay, so you're looking for anything regarding the family. Okay, do you want to make it a hard?
I'd do it, dude.
You know what? Yeah.
I
with
mean,
that,
if he says when he says that,
It's a leading question.
going down to 64 luck points. Okay.
It's still double what I've got.
yeah, I'm at 33.
You guys have had a hard life.
Uh,
I don't intend to make it any easier anytime.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to start with what I like to call handout one.
Ooh.
Cool.
And as you can guess, there's going to be plenty of handouts.
Or do you want to email everything?
I can put it up, and then that way the people at home can follow along, but I'll email it as well.
Okay, cool.
And I will email that over.
Yeah, because that's hard to read.
Morris Fitch, father of Congressional Medal of Honor winner Gary Fitch, was found dead yesterday morning of an apparent fall. The body of Mr. Fitch, longtime keeper at Lonely Point, was discovered by Harrison Vanderhoff while delivering supplies to the lighthouse. Mr. Vanderhoff said, "When no one came to meet the boat, I got worried. I climbed in through a window, calling out and looking around. I found poor Morris near the bottom of the lighthouse stairs. There was nothing I could do. He'd been there for a while. No sign of Bessie Fitch could be found, and it is thought that she died of a lengthy illness and was privately buried on Lonely Point by her devoted husband. The pair had become reclusive in recent years after the death of their son, Gary. Morris Fitch was 66 years old and is survived by his daughter, Michelle Gannon, and 2 grandchildren."
Okay, so we also find what I like to call handout 2.
Colloquially known as
Your name
handout two.
system is ingenious. This is
Thank you very much. I'm very proud of it.
A local man awarded Medal of Honor. Sergeant Gary Fitch, a native of New London, was posthumously awarded the nation's highest military honor on Monday during a ceremony at the White House. Sergeant Fitch was one of the 4 men so honored for their heroic service to this country during the final months of the Great War. In addition to the Medal of Honor, Gary Fitch was also promoted to the rank of lieutenant. On August 12th of 1918, Sergeant Fitch led a group of men across no man's land in an effort to take out a forward German mortar position, raining havoc down on Allied trenches. The men were quickly pinned down by German machine gun fire, taking heavy casualties. As a smoke screen was deployed so that his men could withdraw, Sergeant Fitch charged forward with a shotgun and hand grenades. He took out the German machine gun and moved on to eliminate the mortar position it protected. While he could have withdrawn, Sergeant Fitch remained at the enemy advanced position, directed Allied artillery strikes by marking targets with colored smoke grenades until killed by German snipers. His heroic actions are credited with saving the lives of hundreds of Allied troops. A statue of Lieutenant Fitch is being planned for the entrance of Bulkley High School, the school he attended.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like we need to go look at the statue because there's a handout, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, let's go look at it.
Hold on. There.
After we all get together and we share
Yeah.
There's also the mention of his sister and then the 2 kids.
Yeah, Michelle Gannon.
So we might want to look into that as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to give you one last handout because this is your here, and then I'll let you guys all reconvene and you can unpack your adjectives. And this starts to pique your curiosity.
Oh, here we go. Now the good stuff. That's what you get for that extra point.
Local lighthouse keeper hooks a biggin. July 22nd, 1917, Morris Fitch, a longtime lighthouse keeper at Lonely Point, just might be starting a new career as a professional fisherman. Along with local fisherman Jesse Holland, he landed a 10-foot bull shark. Wow. While Mr. Fitch wouldn't comment on his catch, Jesse later said Morris was specifically looking for that particular shark. We let 4 other bull sharks go, as well as anything else he hooked. How would you know which one? Whatever. When asked who landed the shark, Holland replied, Morris did. As soon as we got it close to the boat, he blasted it a bunch of times with his shotgun, cursing up a storm at the damn thing. It was the oddest charter I ever took out. But so long as the client's happy, that's that. We hope to get a comment from Mr. Fitch on just what the nature of his dispute with the shark was. No when Mr. Fitch, who's been lighthouse keeper at Lonely Point for 36 years now, plans to retire.
You can tell this was kind of a tongue-in-cheek, snarky.
Right.
That's great.
I'd like to also thank the HPLHS for producing these amazing handouts for this book.
Yeah, they look super cool. I mean,
these are the best
out of a
handouts
newspaper. It's
we've
fantastic.
Yeah.
We shortly thereafter we could no longer afford their as they grew in popularity, we could no longer afford their handouts. But
yeah.
Okay, so you reconvene for dinner. Thomas was out really a long time. So, Harry, did you want to try and track down the guy in New London before we reconvene for dinner?
I would have left the clerk's office and gone over to the post office to kind of get a feel for like, hey, when's this guy coming back?
Make a luck check.
That sort of thing. Ooh, that sucks. Oh, I got a lot too. out of like 32 or
When
When you
something.
go and ask for him, it's the guy you're looking for. He's working at the freaking counter that day.
He turns around. He's like, "Oh shit,
He's at
it's
the
me."
window, and he's like, "Yeah, how can I help you?"
Oh, hey, Ray, Mr. Chapman. How you doing? My name is Harry Stanton. How are you?
I'm well. You were looking for me?
Yeah. So we were a couple of associates and myself were hired by the Chamber of Commerce to come up and look into the goings on over at the lighthouse. I understand that you were one of the lighthouse keepers there.
That's right, for a time.
Can you tell me about your experience? What happened? I hear people say the place is haunted, but that can't be a real thing, right? And he kind of gives him a big grin, like, eh.
He looks over and he yells to somebody, "Margaret, take the window. I'm gonna go for a smoke." And she's like, "Okay." And
Harry
he,
pulls
he
out a pack and offers it to him.
he walks outside with you,
Hmm.
and he goes, "Yeah, I really don't want to talk around my coworkers. That's something I'm really, proud of."
Oh, Dip, sorry, didn't mean to, impose or anything.
Right, right. I'm trying to, I'm still trying to build my reputation up. A lot of people, they said, me and the other keepers who came after the Fitches that were lazy, that were just, we don't have the same work ethic as the last generation. Um, but no, I mean, I was there. So you're at Roy Chapman. Roy Chapman, how long was he there?
It was uh, August through November.
August through November. And he said,
You weren't there for a long time. Like he flips through his notebook. August to November, I take it.
look, I don't really know how comfortable I am talking about all of this. I'm trying to put it behind me. Everybody thinks that I'm a loon already. So, I mean,
Hey, no dispersions from me. Like I said, I'm just here to investigate. If you think you saw something, I'm not here to contradict. I'm just, I'm trying to collect some information, so everybody can put this behind them.
he says, and all of this is off the record, right?
Yeah, no, of course, yeah. I don't have, I don't need to tell the press.
He says, look, everything was fine till about September. I had heard so you're talking, who are you? So this is the second guy?
Yeah, this is Ray Chapman. He lives in New London. He's the postman. So he's
Right,
the
he's the second
second
guy.
guy.
He goes, and honestly, I thought that Alan was I thought what everybody else thought, that, he just couldn't hack it. He was out there all by himself. He was, there almost a whole year. And then when he left, I'm like, well, I'll slide in. It seems like an easy job. But yeah, it was fine until about September, and then that's when the sounds and the scratching and the banging would happen. Not every night, not every day. But it seemed like whenever the weather was bad, whatever, I don't know what you'd call it, entity, spirit, would get agitated, and there'd be just like banging and scratching and sometimes moaning. And you could never pinpoint where it was coming from. I'd wandered that house and tried to pin it down. And it was just unnerving, to be woken up in the middle of the night, to just the sound of someone. It's just these anguish. I don't really know how to describe it. But there was something there, and it wasn't me.
Are you sure it was a person? Could it be, like a
It
seal or
wasn't.
something?
No, it was in the house. It was not outside the house.
In the
It was
house. Oh,
in the
okay.
house.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I mean, there's Lonely Point is a weird place. Um, I mean,
How do you mean exactly?
there are standing stones.
Standing stones. What do you mean?
They're
I
like
think.
monolith stones along the coast. There's 5 or 6 of them.
Huh.
Creepy. But I'd asked. I have a friend at the historical society, and I asked, "Hey, did the Indians ever have any kind of ceremonial burial ground or setting up a temple or something?" But he said no, there was never any evidence of the monoliths on the island until a couple of years before Morris died.
Huh. That's. You don't think he put them up, do you?
Well, that's what everyone thinks.
Or big stones? Like he puts his arms out like big stones? How's the old guy gonna move big stones and put them up?
Well, it'd be an effort, but it could be done.
Huh.
I mean, they're not massive. They're probably, about 5 or 6 feet tall. It would have taken him some effort.
And it was just him and the wife and the 2 kids, right? So it's not like it's a family plot or something like that, right?
Right, but towards the end, he was living out there alone. Gary died in the war, and his daughter moved off. Here she got married somewhere in Ohio. Rumors are she had to get married. Her and the mother never got along. I think that Morris's family was out from Ohio, so she went to go visit his sister and never came back one day. From what I heard, there were some pretty knockdown, drag-out fights between the mother and the daughter. Not a good relationship.
Hmm.
To be honest, I know this is God forgive me for speaking ill of the dead, but especially someone who gave his life for this country. But Gary was kind of he waffled between loner and bully, if you can believe that, depending on what day you ran into him. Not a lot of friends. But hey,
How old was the kid? I guess he must have been what, at least 18 if he fought in the war, yeah.
he was a senior when I was a freshman.
Hmm.
So he's a few years older. But yeah, he joined as soon as he could.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe that makes sense. I don't know. Being stuck out on the island, maybe thinks he got something to prove, in school and all.
Um,
I want to make a psychology check on this guy just to see if I believe that
go ahead.
he believes what he's saying more than anything. That is a 28, and my psychology is 68. So that's a hard success.
You get the feeling that he's trying to portray Gary in the best possible light, but possibly even has a lower opinion of him than he's admitting to. You think that if you make a charm check, he'll be a little bit more honest.
All right, let me see if I can even attempt to do that. My charm is at 35. He says, all right, yeah, I give it a shot. Whatever. My rolls have been all right so far. He says, well, maybe, he had a little, little man syndrome or something. So, you get guys like that, sometimes they feel like they got something to prove, right? Oof. Yeah, 43. Well, I don't want to spend that much luck.
You can try a persuade.
All right. What is my persuade? Oh, my persuade 75.
Man, you're an investigator. Something's got to be high.
Yep, it's going to be 53 under 75.
Okay. When you mentioned little man syndrome, they said, "Oh no, he was very broad-shouldered, but not really popular or handsome. Didn't have a lot of friends." wasn't a troublemaker, but people learned not to tease him about pretty much anything. He had a bit of a temper, and he was a brawler. He'd been suspended a bunch of times for fighting. He was the kind of guy people pick on once.
Hmm.
It didn't matter. Didn't matter if it was 3-on-1. He was always quick with his fist.
See, he's an ugly cuss, I take it?
Well, homely, I would say.
Hmm.
Not a
Have
good
certain
looking.
look about him?
Not particularly. Um, but yeah, I mean, everybody, it's you never can tell. He was the kind of person nobody thought would amount to anything, but there he is, winning the Congressional Medal of Honor, saving lives. So I really feel bad speaking ill of him. But from what I knew of him, which honestly wasn't that much, wasn't that well, he was not the type of person you'd think would go on to become a war hero.
Yeah. I hear they got a statue of him over at the high school. I
Yeah,
think you probably go over there and take a look.
Well, you might as well. It's flattering.
All right, good to know. Did you ever see anything? Did you ever see people were talking about a sea monster? Did you ever see anything out in the water? Anything weird? Colored lights? I don't know.
Roll your psychology.
Oh shit! Here we go. 32. So that's going to be a hard success again.
He says sometimes when whatever was in the house was active, you'd hear something coming from outside, coming from the water. A howl, maybe. Always at night, always in bad weather. And I never saw anything, but something was out there. And I got to tell you, there aren't any animals on Lonely Point. I mean, it's not that big of a place, so it couldn't have been a deer, it couldn't have been a fox or a badger. I mean, the fish just kept chickens, but there haven't been any chickens there in ages. So I'd love to say, oh, it's just some kind of an animal, but I don't know what it was.
Huh.
But I mean, I'm not. There may be something out there. I mean, or maybe I'm just. It's I don't want to say I was seeing things. I don't want you to think that I'm a head case, but being alone for long periods of time, I thought I could handle it, but wasn't for me.
Hey, that kind of isolation, gets in your head. Even if you're, got your head square on your shoulders, it's it's a weird place to be all by yourself like that.
Hey, I missed the free rent, to be honest, but I'm definitely happier and safer as a postman.
Yeah, I
Not
can
everybody's
understand that.
not everybody's made to be a lighthouse keeper. See what happened to Morris. I don't know if you heard the whole bull shark story.
No, there's I knew that he had died. His wife died. I guess they didn't find the body, so that seems kind of weird. I guess he must have buried her out there, right?
Yeah, I think that after his son died, he kind of went unhinged. He hired a boat and to hunt down a bull shark, and after they hooked it, he, from what I hear, shot it with a shotgun.
Huh. Well, and maybe it swallowed his favorite chicken.
Well, I don't know. I don't know why. But there's also the rumors that about his wife.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, they never found her body, and they never questioned him about where she was. So
You think he
some
killed
people
her?
say, well, yeah, some people say that he killed her.
You think maybe he went crazy after the kid died, and
Definitely became unhinged later in his life.
huh? Well, that's a damn
Again,
shame.
not the poster child for New London, father of the Congressional Medal of Honor winner, but you
Well,
know,
being out there for so long like that, you get some old guy, it gets to you.
yeah, most locals aren't going to talk badly about them. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
no, that's
he was a dependable lighthouse keeper for many years, and his son did, save a lot of lives in France. So, there's an effort to portray our heroes in a better light.
hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, they got no proof. No sense in casting dispersions, I guess.
Okay. All right. He says,
Well,
anything else you need to ask me before I get back?
no, no. Hey, I appreciate your time. I mean to, drag you away from, from the job or anything, but yeah, I just, hoping to be able to settle something here, and,
All right. Just make sure that my name's not in any newspaper stories.
yeah, no, no. My word, hand to God.
All right.
You're,
Thanks.
yep.
He says, you're going out there, huh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're supposed to go out Friday for a couple days and take a look around. I don't think we need 3 days. I mean, say the island's not so big, but yeah, see what we can find.
Well, good luck. Bring a hat. The roof leaks like a bitch.
Jeez, maybe I should bring some holy water with us too, huh?
And he says, wouldn't hurt. And he goes back inside.
And I just kind of look at him walk away and think, shit. He makes a note in his notebook. Stop at the church.
All right. Is Georgie anything you want to do before you guys reconvene for dinner?
No, I got nothing else.
All right. So you guys are all back together. The Waterford does have a house restaurant. So you can go back to the hotel and enjoy a nice dinner.
All right. So what'd you guys find? Anything interesting? Not everybody all at
Well,
once.
the locals don't really believe all the big fish stories. About sea monsters and all that kind of stuff.
Well, who
At the
would,
same
right?
time, they are. What was that?
I said who would.
Make a luck
Right.
check.
Who? Oh, Georgie.
Wow.
All of you.
9.
Okay.
Nope.
78. I failed.
Okay. When you said who would, and you hear like one of the like the waiter says, "Well, I would." He goes, "Because I've actually seen it."
So Harry kind of like half gets up and like turns around and says, "Hey, come here for a minute. You got a second?"
He goes, he says, "Look, there are lots of people who want this to be real. I'm not one of them, but I honestly think that it's some kind of a beast from a prehistoric age. Um, I've seen something moving in the water while I was, walking along the shore. Um, they said it killed a local fisherman who'd gone missing. And it's right, we're right by Moray Point, Moray Drop. That's supposed to go like thousands of feet down. Nobody's ever been to the bottom of it on so who knows? Who knows what creatures could be lurking in the deep?
How far away from the shore was it when you saw it?
100 yards?
Okay.
How big was it?
Um,
Do you
it,
think?
um, I can't tell. It had a very long body, maybe 20 feet. I thought it was maybe a bull shark, but there was no dorsal fin. I thought maybe it was a seal, but its head was just wide. I mean, I only glimpsed at it, but there's, you know, call me crazy.
I mean,
I know what I saw.
I ain't mean to condescend you or nothing, but how'd you know it wasn't just like a tree floating in the water or something?
I guess I don't, but trees don't dive away when they notice you've noticed them. I I got the feeling I was being watched. That's why I turned towards the water. You ever get that goose skin up and down your arms, back tingle on the back of the neck, know that something is out there?
All the time.
I was hunting once and through my, down the barrel of my rifle, I spotted a bear, and he spotted me at about the same time. And that was the same feeling, like, oh shit. Luckily for me, the bear just turned and went its own way, and whatever was in the water did the same thing. But again, I just saw it for a second. I don't know what it was, but I saw something, and I've lived here my whole life. I've never seen anything like that before.
Hey, what time of the year was it when you seen it?
Said about this time last year.
So about March. Okay. What was the day like? Do you remember? Was it raining? Was it stormy?
It was pretty clear. I was enjoying a walk along the beach looking for driftwood. I do carvings in my spare time.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
And he points to some of the like the driftwood sea art, ocean type art, and he's like an amateur artist. He goes, those are my pieces over there.
Oh, that's pretty good. So you put any stock in this lighthouse business?
Of it being haunted?
Yeah.
I think there's something out there. You've got one person with a broken neck at the bottom of the stairway. You have his missing wife, body never found. And shortly after all that happens, people start saying the lighthouse is haunted. I think all of that's got to be connected.
Like he kind of looks around conspiratorially. He says, "You don't think the old man, killed his wife, do you?"
He was real close with his daughter. And there are rumors that the fights got so bad he had to pull them apart. And then the daughter left for the summer and never came home. I don't know. Maybe he blamed his wife for driving his daughter away. And then after their son died, that's when that's when his behavior started to change.
So did she leave before? Is it Gary? Before he
it was
passed away?
before Gary passed.
Okay.
She didn't even come for the memorial. No one's seen her back in New London since. She didn't come to her father's funeral either.
Huh. About how long you think she's been gone now?
10 years, maybe more.
Oh, that's a pretty solid stance to make.
It's
Not even gonna come back for the old man's funeral.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Anyway, let's not dwell. And he when he comes back, he gives you guys desserts, and he goes on the house.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you. It's very
Peach cobbler.
Nice. I love a good peach cobbler.
He says, "Well, good luck if you guys are going out there."
Yeah, thanks. I think we wait for him to like walk away. Then Harry just kind of like shrugs and looks at the other two. He said, "I heard about the shark business. I talked to Ray, the lighthouse keeper that was there from August to November. He thinks that there's something going on. Heard voices, not voices, but like sort of vocalizations. Couldn't track anything down, but it was definitely coming from inside the lighthouse. He did say when the storms were really bad, and whatever was doing, that you could hear some stuff from outside.
Hmm.
He thinks it's something. Maybe it's a seal. I mean, who knows?
I mean, we do what we do, right? But I mean, I always kind of want to go in with hoping the best, and it's an old lighthouse. Like, wind blows, things creak during a storm, rocks get kicked up. Like, especially being out there all alone, like your imagination might start getting to you.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of intimated that maybe it's a little bit too much isolation, but he seemed pretty convinced. So he also said the place leaks like a son of a bitch. So maybe we should pick up a couple of raincoats before we go. A hat.
Yeah, I'd hate to get my jacket all all wet. This is very clearly like water stained on the shoulders.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to do before bed?
Do you guys find anything else? Anything else that might be useful?
I mean, only other thing is all the fishermen said that the catch has been really bad over the last few years. So I don't know if it has anything to do with this monster being in the waters or what, but interesting coincidence.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Ray said that there's some standing stones out on the island there. They asked he had a friend over at the Historical Society. Said there was nothing like that out there. None of the indigenous peoples, they didn't have anything like that. So the thought being that maybe maybe the old guy put them up. But they're like, he said like 5-6 feet.
Wow.
That's a lot of stone to be moving around for no particular reason. I guess we want to get some eyes on those when we go. I didn't think to ask him where they were, but I guess the island's not that big, so we take a walk around and see what we can see.
Okay. So it's 11. Do we want to break here?
We can't. It's early for me, so I don't get a vote.
It's 11 for me. It's probably 2 in the afternoon for Nick.
It's 8, but yeah. It's early for me too.
Jesse's already in bed. I mean, we're
Jesse said fucking left. I think he can hear us though.
I'm fine with breaking here.
yeah, I think this is a good spot, like the end of the first day of investigation.
Okay, yeah, that works.
Okay, so we'll end it here. I'm just gonna let this develop, however many sessions it takes.
Mm-hmm.
And then, after we're done with this, we will. I'll make the special announcement that John Hook has agreed to run his adventure from Islands of Ignorance for Legends of Tabletop. Unfortunately, I helped edit it, so I can't play it. But we'll definitely get people who can enjoy that. He's graciously agreed to be on. He's at, and we wish him the best. He's now at Origins currently.
Yeah. It's huge
Nice.
this weekend, I guess, or this end of
To
this
everyone at Origins, stay safe, wash your hands, shower.
Yeah.
week. Probably wear a mask.
Probably, if you want to wear a mask, definitely do that. 2 meals, one shower, 2 meals, and 5 hours of sleep.
I love that rule. I love the 5-2-1 rule.
Yeah, 5-2-1. All right. So we're gonna end here. You can play us out, Keyboard Cat.
All right. Before I do that, you guys have anything else that you would like to plug, share, or mention? upcoming Kickstarter.
Upcoming Kickstarter. Hopefully before the end of July, we'll be launching the Island of Ignorance second edition upgrade reprint Kickstarter with the companion volume, Dark Sea of Infinity, the fourth Cthulhu Invictus Companion, Cthulhu Companion. Why do I keep saying Invictus? I need to. It's really hard to shift because we're currently editing the Legacy of Arius Lurico. I'm reading scenarios for a Cthulhu Invictus collection that we're planning for next year. And so yeah, I've got three. I'm spinning a bunch of plates, and most of them are in ancient Rome.
I thought it was just your subconscious telling you that you wanted to get back to an Invictus game.
I do, but you guys need new characters because I think you've ridden those into the dust. I mean,
I already got one. I got one checked up, baby.
But we have to wrap that season. We have to wrap that campaign
Yeah,
up with
sure,
a nice
yeah.
bow.
well, we'll talk about getting everybody together to wrap up the campaign. So you can get married and officially retire the character. I already know what's going to happen to you guys.
Fuck.
No, for your retirement. Basically, I'm making the two of you NPCs in charge of an investigator organization. And it's going to be
All right.
run out of the Great Library of Alexandria.
That's cool.
Nice.
Dig that. Nice.
All right, that's all I got.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for checking it out. Back the Kickstarter when it comes out. That's going to be super cool. I'm super excited for that. We have our Patreon up. If you want to throw a couple of bucks our way, that's cool. It helps to defray the costs. If not, we're going to record anyway. So, whatever your mileage may vary. Likes, shares, mentions, reviews on whatever your podcatcher of choice is. Probably helpful, I guess. Yeah. So thanks for checking it out, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye, everyone.